Hi everybody, Stuff and Things here. We're finally back at a skate park for the first time in months. But before I show you what I did on this mani pad, I want to spend some time showing you what I did for a warm-up. In a Braille Army video earlier this week, Aaron Cairo was talking about doing your basic tricks 5 times as a warm-up. And at the time, I was thinking 5 times for all 7 of the basics, that's a lot of stuff to do. I'm going to be really tired by the time I do all of that. But I decided to just force myself to try it anyway and see what happens. So there, I just finished my Ollies. I didn't think Ollies would be a problem, and I got 5 of them in a row, which was really good. Then I'm moving on to frontside 180s, and I started off really well, just kind of got a few of them in a row, and I was happy with that. And then I started thinking about it too much, and I actually start messing myself up. I'm keeping running tallies on all of these tries at the bottom of the screen to see how many tries it took before I could land 5 of them. And I don't mean 5 in a row, because that would just be a little unrealistic at this point. But how many total tries did it take to get 5 landings? And here I am finishing up that frontside 180. Finally got a pretty good one for the last one as well. So 8 total tries there. Now we're moving on to backside 180. And these were a little sketchy. And I have not been working on these recently. So I'm not surprised that I didn't have the balance down for backside 180. But while I'm going through these tries, I wanted to talk about consistency, because that's really what this ends up being, is a consistency video. I've never been the most consistent skater, and a while back I've made some videos about consistency and trying to get better at the basics. And so even though Aaron called this a warm-up, I think for me it's more of a challenge. How well can I do all of these basics? How many tries is it going to take me to get 5 landings? It is a good way to practice and a good way to force myself to go through this, and it really does come out in the end to make me more consistent. So here we are now at Pop Shove-Its, and I was really happy with the first 2. I actually got some pop under there, landed really clean. This was a really good day for Pop Shove-Its. It did take a few tries. I start stumbling off the board a little bit. That one was great for me, a really good pop on that. But then I start kind of worrying about my balance and things a little bit more, kind of like I did with frontside 180. But overall, I'm still really happy with where Pop Shove-It was. And like I said, I'm really glad most of the ones I landed actually did have some pop in them. They weren't just a shove-it on the ground, where I used those when I was doing the exercise of doing all 7 basics in a row. I was doing really small shove-its just to make sure that I would get a landing. So here we are going into frontside shove-its. I get this first one even though it has like no pop, and most of my frontside shove-its on this day didn't really have any pop. I'm gonna have to come back and work on these. Frontside shove-it is one of my weaker tricks for sure. I'm pretty sure I didn't count that one. I feel like it's a trick I can do if I have to and if I really focus on the shove motion, but it's not something that I do very well. It's not very often that I get a really good frontside shove-it with a lot of pop, which carries over to things that I wish I could do, like a varial heel. If I could get a good frontside shove-it, I think that would make it so that I could get a varial heel one of these days. Okay, and here we are at the weird part of this whole exercise. You guys know that I like heel flips.
First try.
And there we got one first try, so I'm really happy about that. But then from there, I kind of go downhill. Out of all 7 basics, I would have thought that the heel flip would be something I was pretty good at. I'm not saying I'm going to land every one every time, but maybe I could get close to like 50% kind of consistency levels. But today I definitely didn't get that. I was really inconsistent with the flip and the pop, and then I fell right there. That was a pretty good fall. And some of the ones like that I am counting as a landing were pretty sketchy, not the best. So something with my heel flip has gone a little haywire. I'm going to have to get back to them. And I think this one right here is landing number 4. I've got 1 more to go. I've got at least 1, maybe 2 more misses. I can't remember. Nope, that was the landing right there. And now we're moving on to the kickflip.
First try.
And so there's another first try on a kickflip, which is amazing. That second try wasn't actually too bad as well. And I'm sure a lot of you know that kickflips have always been a challenge for me, even when I learned them a little over a year ago. but I was starting to put them together a little bit. I even got 2 in a row right there. And nobody was more surprised than me when I looked back through my footage to see how many tries it took. It took way less than the heel flip and way less than I would have thought for me to get 5 kickflips. It only took 9 total tries to get 5 landed kickflips, which is amazing. And because of that, I'm suddenly sold on this idea of doing your tricks 5 times. Maybe as a warm-up, maybe as just an exercise for the day, whatever works for you. But try it, see where you are with the tricks that you know, try to land it 5 times and see what happens. You might be pleasantly surprised like I was. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.